99.999% of people who are trying to land flip are only targeting land. This gives you the ability to land flip and target land with houses on it.
You are buying it. They don't necessarily need to know what you're doing with the property. You just got to make sure they're all on the same page because they're your neighbors now, and you don't want anyone, walking over with a gun trying to kick people off and stuff when you're selling the property.
These people might have gotten offers for people to buy their entire house. People have not ever gotten offers in this way where people are targeting like, you keep your house, you keep 2 acres with your house, I'll take the other 8 acres.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today's episode, guys, we're talking about survey hacking. It's been over a year now since we created the term survey hacking, kind of explained the business model and really launched it out. And we're going to talk about the results and what we've seen so far. And also, if you guys don't know what survey hacking is, we can get into that and talk about different ways to target survey hacking and different opportunities that you'll come across naturally with the opportunity to survey hack. Ron, welcome back.
Happy to be here. Happy to talk about this. So yeah, it's probably been about a year since we started, kind of ran into survey hacking. We coined the term, I guess, 12 months ago, whatever it was. So talking about it, we've talked about it a few times since, but not too much. It's definitely a niche that a lot of people are doing successfully. So definitely want to get into it. What our current thoughts are on it, I think, is kind of the big takeaway for this episode for those of you listening.
Yeah, what are we seeing and do we recommend it? That's kind of what we're going to get at here. But for those who don't know, survey hacking is really just taking a parcel and creating multiple parcels out of one. Right, Ron? Essentially,
yeah. So you are, what you just said just reminded me of subdividing, essentially. No, it's buying a portion of a parcel.
Oh, yes,
that's what I was like, what are we defining here? And I'm like, this just sounds like subdividing to me. So it's buying a portion of a parcel. So if someone owns 50 acres of a parcel, it is buying 48 of those, buying 8 of those. It doesn't matter the number. So essentially you are survey hacking. You are getting a survey for the person who currently owns it, leave them 2 acres, 5 acres, and you take the rest. And buy the rest, essentially. So that is what survey hacking is. That made me think. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about?
I'm glad you called it out because I wouldn't have corrected myself. Yeah, just buying a portion of someone's land, and then you can do a lot of different things with that portion. So they have a house on the corner of the property. You cut out their house, give them 2 acres. They keep 2 acres, and you take 48 acres because it's a 50-acre lot. Or they have 50 acres with a house on it. You cut their house off. They want 10 acres. You take 40. That's why survey hacking works so well, I think, is because it's negotiable. And you can do this with raw land or land with houses on it. It works better for land with houses on it because it opens the inventory up for sure. And they don't need all their land. They don't want it anymore. They want to liquidize part of their asset. That's where we've seen a lot of success with it, Ron.
Yeah, so 99.999% of people who are trying to land flip are only targeting land. This gives you the ability to land flip and target land with houses on it, essentially. So this opens up, I don't know, maybe a couple million parcels in the country. I really don't know how many pieces of land with houses, 5+, 10+ acres, whatever you need for it. But there is, it just opens up inventory. It opens up opportunity, which is why I like this business model so much. But again, we have seen it for a year. I'm sure our opinions are a little different on it than it was 6-12 months ago when we talked about it. I think there's so much opportunity here, Dan, because it brings in different things. But that being said, I haven't seen one person doing this strategy who has been like ultra successful and like who has just like found a way to do this very repeatable. I don't know how many people are trying to do it because I still think there's a ton of opportunity. But that being said, like there's not one person who like jumps out like they're doing 10 survey hacks every single month.
Yeah, and that's where it's kind of been is like people just falling into it naturally. And you're sending out mail for whatever, and maybe they have a house next door and they want to sell part of their land. Whatever it is, it's all negotiation. It's all based on negotiation. The targeting will work if you find out, but we're talking about all the success that we've seen in the last, year or so, and it's mainly just falling into an opportunity where the negotiation arises.
It's where you what happens a lot of times, like Dan said, sometimes with a house, sometimes it's not with a house. Sometimes you are offering to buy someone's 50 acres and they're like, I want to keep 10 of these, or whatever it is. But they want to keep 10 for their family. And like, all right, let's survey hack this. I'll give you keep the 10, I'll pay you X dollars for the 40. And that's where the opportunity is, in my opinion, like that everyone needs to be doing. Like, we are problem solvers. That's how you're going to get more deals. If you're problem solving, how you're going to finance deals, how you're going to make deals, how you're going to make the most money from a deal. Like, that is what this business is about. That's how you get more deals. So if the person just calls you on the phone and one doesn't want to sell the 50 acres and you don't give them any other option, then you just lose a deal, versus you try to attempt a survey hack and you can try to make something happen. That's where these deals are being made.
I would cold text houses with a lot of land, and you can even target mobile homes and things like that own over 10, 20 acres. And,
I like that with cheaper
and try
marketing.
that, because there's no risk with cold texting, and you will get conversations going, and you can negotiate. And some of these people will want money and want to sell part of their land. I know targeting will work. I don't think enough people out there are doing it, targeting houses with a lot of land to buy part of the land, but I'm telling you, I know it would work.
I don't disagree at all. I think with cheaper marketing, people have done mail for it, and I think there's been some success very targeting with mail with it. But that being said, it's obviously a more pricey way to go about the marketing. So yeah, I think cold text for people with houses on it, and it is. These people might have gotten offers for people to buy their entire house. People have not ever gotten offers in this way, where people are targeting, like, you keep your house, you keep 2 acres with your house, I'll take the other 8 acres, whatever it is. And it is a very, very intriguing offer for them.
Yeah, especially, yeah. And it goes both ways too, with people who own land and want to keep some of their land, or people that just naturally have. Click that view other properties button, Ron. You can target portfolio owners and look at all their properties. And if they want to sell one, they have 2 properties, let's say. One of them's their land, one of them's their house, and their house has land on it. Always look for opportunities, guys. These people are calling you with interest. Grab the most out of it. Ever wondered how land investing can be the fastest path to financial freedom? I break it all down in my new book, One Lot at a Time. I'll show you exactly how to find, buy, and flip land for huge profits without dealing with houses, tenants, or any crazy renovations. It's simple. This is the book that I wish I had when I first started. If you're ready to take control of your financial future, grab a copy now. One Lot at a Time by Daniel Apke. Find it at your local bookstore or on Amazon.com.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's just another revenue stream. Like, I don't think people should be going 100% in to survey, because I think it's just something where the deals come about, honestly. I don't think it should be 100% of your business model. Like, if you're doing 5 deals a month flipping or subdividing or something like this, don't throw everything into survey hacking, for sure. Add it as a revenue stream. I was listening to someone on a podcast talking about their business, and they're like, yeah, whenever we have new ideas come about, like, it's just something where we just add another potential revenue stream and we test it out. Nothing else changes in your business, but you just add it. I think it was Dave Ramsey, honestly, on Hormozy, because he's got so many revenue streams with his business. He's just talking about, like, when someone has an idea, if we like the idea, we try it out. We don't change anything else, but it's another potential revenue stream.
Yeah, and you want to try it out with enough sample size to know your results. You don't want to just try it. That's the thing. What I see is people try something out one time. Like, oh, it didn't work for me. It's like, okay, well, you sent 200 text messages. Let's dive in a little bit deeper and send 20,000 before we decide on that.
People do that with this business as a whole. People dip their toe in this business. Like, don't do that. Like, if you want to try to make something, go all into this business and try it out. I'm just talking about getting into this business.
Yeah, and it kind of correlates to the same thing with everyone's looking for the number of return deals per mailer, or mailers per deal, I mean. Yep. And I asked the question yesterday. I was on a call with Sarah, and I asked the question, instead of looking at deals per mailer, look at your ROI on mail. Because I can get 1 deal per every 500 pieces of mail doing this strategy. But it's all about the ROI and what you're getting back. I don't care if I send 100,000 pieces of mail if my profit's $1 million on it. You know what I mean? So I asked her, I said, are you getting $5,000 deals? Because she said she's seeing 1 per every 8,000, or that's what people are saying. So are you getting $5,000 deals, or are you getting 50,000 profit deals? So there's a big difference with that, and that's the number you should be looking at more than the actual ratio.
100%. It's weird because it's a very, very common phrase, return on ad spend. Every other business, not every, but pretty much every other business is like, okay, you spent $1,000 on ads. It's not how many products did you sell. It's how much revenue did you create or profit did you create on that $1,000 of ad spend. If you sold 10 products and you got $1,000 back, you had zero return on your ad. Like it was 1-to-1, you didn't make any money, versus you sold 2 products and it was $20,000. Like that's all it is. Like your return on your spend. It is not based on how many units or anything like that. That shit doesn't matter in my opinion. 100%. You're correct.
Yeah,
on
and
that.
I think, for example, in ads, just kind of diving into this rabbit hole, in the ad space, like it depends your margins, right? And it depends what you're selling and how expensive it is. But if you're selling $100 bottle of some organic shampoo, right? And your ad spend is like, let's just say $50 to acquire someone. That's very good typically. Because that's like if you're under a 1-to-1, a lot of those people are going to come back. You might get them in a low subscription, whatever it is. Your average order might be $150 because you're upselling them on something, whatever it is. But that's a 0.5% ratio, Ron. Think of that in the land space. Think of it getting to get $100,000, you can spend $50,000 and still stay healthy.
Easy.
Think of how far that gets you, though. So when you wrap your mind around like the ROAS model, return on ad spend, rather than the deals per mailer, I just think it's a much healthier formula because you can understand how much you can spend to acquire deals without getting stressed out at this little ratio that doesn't mean anything if you don't have the numbers behind it.
Yeah, I'm done talking about that ratio in terms of like
It's horrible.
It's been sick. I've been sick of it for like 2 years because everyone's like, yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. How much money are you spending? Some people are spending $2 for every mailer, which is great. Like if you're going to get a return, like some people are spending very little with texting, and like it's all about the return
you don't
you're
hear
getting,
texting
guys.
people ask about that.
No,
because they're not spending
care.
money on it.
No,
so
it's
it makes
just like
sense.
send 10,000 texts for $500 a month, whatever the number is. So I think getting more into the numbers on your business, I think this episode's going down a rabbit hole that we were talking about survey hacking originally. But this is interesting stuff, guys. And just I think at the end of the day, like making the most of the leads that you get. And that's where survey hacking comes in, and we can wrap it back around to that. Like you sent 10,000 mailers. Being a problem solver is going to create more deals, which kind of going back to that, having options like survey hacking is going to create more deals, which is going to have a better return for you because the type of mail you send, the type of marketing you spend is just one part. Like you need to know how to talk to these people and actually close deals and make deals happen.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Some people are scared to have double close conversations. Some people are scared to like this pitch survey hacking or something like that, maybe because their knowledge, maybe because something else, but like being able to pitch other things, that's going to give you the best return in this business. And again, we're going off kind of on a tangent, I guess, but how do we wrap this back into survey hacking?
I think what you said, people scared to double close, Ron, I think that wraps into survey hacking because the survey hack, you're not double closing, but you have to talk and negotiate, and I think that's what people are scared of. So I think to get these opportunities, just kind of relaying this back into land, you have to be aggressive on the phones. You have to be aggressive with your negotiations. You're sending all this mail out to acquire their property. Oh, you find out a survey hack or a double close or an opportunity's come up. You got to pitch that opportunity, provide your value, and be aggressive and try to close the deals on the phones.
We're going to do that here soon. We'll do like an episode on the KPIs of this business. I think that'll be a really, really high level topic for people that are like getting too much into the wrong KPIs. But yeah, if you're not pitching different ways to close deals, double closing, survey hacking, all these different strategies, you're hurting your return on ad spend because you are losing profit. You're losing deals. Like maybe you're not going to get every time you pitch a double close, you're going to have maybe 4 people who tell you to screw off or don't want to talk to you or they hate the idea or they want their money now. But that being said, the other 4 that consider, 6 that consider, you're going to close 2 of them, and that's just increasing your business's profitability, everything like that. What else, Dan, in terms of, have you seen anything else with survey hacking? I've seen houses. I've seen people doing a lot of different things. The cool thing about survey hacking too, that I think there's a lot of opportunity is you can end up subdividing after a survey hack. So you could buy, if there's 50 acres in a house, you leave them 2 acres and their house, and then you can you survey hack it and subdivide it at the same time. Essentially, then you have 4 or 5 parcels to sell off. That's where you can make a ton of money in this niche.
Yeah, that's a really good opportunity to do because then you can buy the parcel for more as well. You just got to make sure they're all on the same page because they're your neighbors now with those 5 properties, and you don't want anyone walking over with a gun trying to kick people off and stuff when you're selling the property. So you always want to make sure you are buying it. They don't necessarily need to know what you're doing with the property after, but if you start subdividing it up a lot and they're your neighbors, you can have problems on the back end.
Yeah, they'll.
when they have a house on it. If it's just land, it doesn't matter as much.
A lot of times people in those situations, they like try to argue that like, yeah, they own it. Yeah, you do own the property. Like you legally own the property, but someone coming out with a gun or someone coming, like it is not a headache you want to deal with these small town like police departments and stuff. Like it's just not something you want to deal with.
It will help though, a lot of times.
Huh?
The sheriffs and stuff will help a lot of times though.
Yeah, they will. Like you just don't own the land anymore. Sorry, you can't just bring guns out and scare people off. Like it's fair.
But that's some like 1800s Western stuff right there.
That we've ran into.
Yeah.
Like it's 2024 Ohio stuff or whatever you want to talk about. Nice. But it definitely happens. But I think being transparent when you're doing those type of deals, what your intentions are, and you can tell them like you're just not 100% sure, whatever it is. But yeah, I think that's where the opportunity is. I don't think you should build your entire business model around survey hacking. We did top 5 niches. I think we did it twice actually, Dan. Top 5 niches. Survey hacking I think was 5th on both of them. I could be wrong. But it's a solid niche for sure. It's not something I would have my entire business around. It's a tool in a tool belt, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's just like Ron said, this is an opportunity to close more deals that you won't close if you don't if you don't see the opportunity in front and pitch the opportunity. It's just like double closing. So use it as a tool belt. Double closing isn't only a niche, it's an opportunity you run into when you're trying to buy and flip land. This is the same exact philosophy about it. You're going to run into it, identify the opportunity when it comes up, pitch it, and you'll get a lot more deals from it.
And I think especially when like you're texting, you said texting and targeting it, but when you're texting in general and you have people say no, like that could always be a follow-up for any parcel that's 20 acres plus and someone says no. When you're asking if they're interested in selling, like you can always send a follow-up, like are you interested in selling a portion of your property? Mm-hmm. I don't know what the response rate will be on that, but deals will come. Like I'm just thinking like how can we get more deals? Like that is an opportunity instead of just that person said no, I'm throwing that lead in the trash. That person said no, I'm going to ask them like, do you want to sell any part of your land? Maybe you get 3 acres from it and you can make $10,000-$20,000.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have much more to add, Ron.
Yeah, if you guys let us know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are on survey hacking, which is buying a portion of someone's land. If you guys are watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below. Listen on Spotify or Apple. Share this with a friend. Leave us a review on those as well as Spotify, Apple. It really helps share our podcast, everything like that. Other than that, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks for joining, guys.